Friends, today moving ahead with the concept of management from heart, we'll talk about change. Change, the buzzword. Before going into the concept of change management, I would like to give some stories about frogs. Frogs? Surprised? Yes. You take a pan of cold water, put a live frog in it. It will stay there. No issues. You take another pan, put hot water in it, put another live frog in it. It will instantaneously jump out of it to save itself. Now in the first pan where there was a cold water and the frog has stayed, you light a candle under the pan and let the water heat gradually. Slowly the temperature of water will go up and slowly the frog being a cold-blooded animal will adjust to the raising temperature. But it takes energy to adjust to the increasing temperature around. And eventually a point will come when the temperature of the water is so high that it becomes unbearable and the frog has lost his energy and it will perish. So that was one story. In the second instance, our gentleman Mr. Frog is staying in a cool jungle in a beautiful pond area with a beautiful wife and very good kids. He has almost everything available in that area. He goes out in the morning for the business. He fetches food for his family and other necessities. He comes back, plays with the kid, has a merry time, and everything around is cool and quiet. But this gentleman frog has a problem that he has an internet connection and he looks a lot into different management concepts. And like all of us, he is also fascinated with the concept of change. Somehow, change has become synonymous with entrepreneurship. And he is also fascinated with the concept of change. So he thinks that life here is okay, but for betterment, I should move to the city. City has more potential, more opportunities. So one fine day, he packs his bag and moves to the city. And as soon as he reaches the highway, a speeding truck comes and our gentleman frog perishes. So in both the cases, what we saw, in first case, the change was required and he could not change in time. And in second case, the change was not required and he changed. And in both the cases, he perished. We can quote so many examples in the business field of similar instances. Many businesses which were great businesses of one time perished because they were not able to change with time. And there are so many cases where the businesses took a change and perished because that change was not warranted, not required. Today change is a fashion word. So before going into a change, what I suggest is that why do I need to change? What will I get from the change? And how am I going to change? These are three very important, very crucial questions that need to be answered. But the answer should not be in a piece of paper or a bunch of files. The answer should be such that the person, the entrepreneur or the in charge or the head who is initiating the change has to develop full faith in the change. And full faith means 100% faith. It cannot be 99%. Once the owner of the change has 100% faith And how can he have 100% faith? There's only one way to get it. That is through knowledge. Knowledge may be from books, knowledge can be from experience, knowledge can be from discussing with others, knowledge can be from taking some consultations, help from experts. So in any form, he has to collect the knowledge, and that knowledge has to be collected with one single purpose, and that is to develop his faith. That is the first step, and that is my request and urge, that unless 100% faith is developed, we should not move to the second step. This step needs a lot of time. Most of the time of the total change management should go into this step. Once your faith is established, then you have to transfer that faith to all the persons who are concerned with the change and who are the beneficiaries of the change. All have to share your faith, and it is your responsibility to transfer that faith to them. Once that first step is completed, then the second step is very, very simple. I don't know why it happens, but it always happens. That the second step of implementation of that change is very seamless, and it happens easily, comfortably. But then the third step, that is the real test, when the change becomes a process. That is a real test of everything, whatever you have done so far. And invariably, there will be real and fictitious problems which will crop up suddenly at those stages. Anybody who is initiating the change, and that's why I told in the first phase that you have to develop that faith, because that faith will support you and help you in this stage of converting the change into a process. Once you are through with that, then the change is complete. So in a nutshell, what I can say is that we should not have change phobia, and we should not be change maniacs. Change should be for real reasons only. That's all for the day. See you again.